like we said, the rumors are going to go out and they're going to get nasty. Rather, you shouldn't marry. But if you marry, we can't stop you because Allah, there's no issue.
There's no Issachar.
What?
No
There's no Issachar. Yeah. Okay, so now we go back to the Rashi on the Mishnah. Rashi says, what's the last? What's the Lashon Hara that people are going to speak? People are going to say, oh, you see, the rumor was true. So now, what happens if it's not a rumor? What about a case where people are clearly in a relationship and everybody knows? It's people are secular. We're not talking about a from man who has a shivcha, something's going on quietly. We're talking about a secular man and a goyish woman are together. Everybody knows they're together. Even worse, they got married. They had a civil marriage. They're married. They had 3 kids. They're living together. So, and now she comes and she wants to be Megaya. So can we say, well, don't marry her because everybody say she was only Megaya because of this? Well, yeah, obviously. I actually remember a case where a man married a woman who was he didn't want to marry a goy, so she went to a Reform rabbi and she paid $75 and she got a Geirus, and then later they moved to a new neighborhood and there was an Orthodox shul and they came to the Orthodox shul and actually she was the one that went and became from and she you know, and then after a while she made her husband from too, and then at a certain point they realized, they said, we need to be Megayer again. So that's such a case. So are you going to say, well, you can't be Megayer because everybody's going to say, oh, you were only Megayer because of marriage? Yeah, everybody knows that's a case. So the place can say that in such a case, the according to Rashi says that the problem is only the rumors. You're intensifying the rumors. Okay, there's no rumors. There's no problem. So that's according to Rashi. The most of the Shainim have a different way of looking at the sugya. They have a certain issue with Rashi's way of learning it, and it has to do with the end of the Mishnah that we skipped. It's a whole different sugya. And they say it can't be, Rashi's pshat doesn't fit in this Mishnah, so it has to be that what's the Lashon Hara people are going to say? People are going to say the Geirus wasn't valid. That's the problem. Meaning that if there's a relationship between a Jew and a non-Jewish woman, and then she's Megayer, and then they get married, so people are going to say it's not a good Geirus, because we have the shit of Reb Nechemia, where Nechemia says that you can't be married. We said in the Gemara that we don't paskin like Reb Nechemia, but everybody knows you can't be Megayer for marriage. So we're worried that if they get married afterwards, people are going to say it's not a valid Geirus. That's what we're worried about. So according to that, it's an even bigger problem in our case where there's no rumors, but there is an actual relationship. If there's a relationship, everybody's going to say, okay, it's not a valid Geirus, because there was a relationship factor.
But if the ger lives like from Yid, why would I question
the Geirus?
The Geirus.
Well, because everybody knows by a Geirus, you bring in the ger and you ask him, is it something that you want to do, or is it because you want to marry a Jew? Is there somebody here, somebody special?
But I thought we don't paskin like.
Right, we don't paskin like that, but we do it. It's like atchila. We don't. If somebody comes in and he says, "Oh, I want to be." That's why we have a bezdin. If somebody comes in and says, "Oh, I'm in love," you know, and that's why I want to be megayer. So we don't accept that. We say, you know, go find a different bezdin. They're fine.
Even if they're willing to accept. Really
well,
accept.
If you see that somebody is if the bezdin sees that this person at the end of the day is very serious about it, and he started learning about Yiddishkeit and he's serious about it. So it could be the Yiddishkeit started because of a relationship, but now he's serious about it. So then they would accept him. But still, that doesn't stop people on the street from talking about it. So that's why
my question. In other words, why do we have to assume that people are going to talk about it if he actually lives that way? In other words, if he's going to be a true ger and
but then we have what if he's a true ger and he's Megayer, let's say, I'm not talking about anybody in particular, I'm saying let's say he's Megayer in a very modern Orthodox bezdin, and then there are people that are very ultra Orthodox that say, well, she's wearing pants, how could she be a ger?
I'm not talking about anybody. I'm saying
I'm not talking about anybody either. I'm just saying there are going to be people talking.
But
even if she's very
if
sincere,
the person is gonna do it, then why do you have to worry about what people are gonna say?
Okay.
Do it according
Okay.
to whose standards?
Okay, so actually,
I'm saying
so
he's
actually-
gonna do it to everyone's standards.
actually-
That wasn't my point. My point, I'm not.
Should we forbid any situation
Right.
where people will talk about you for
Right.
Right, so
whatever
actually,
reason?
Moshe Feinstein
I'm sure there are
says
many
this.
other things that people could talk about.
Moshe Feinstein says
And he did.
this in the Tshuva. He says, I don't understand this whole, even though it's a few, the Ritva, the Rashba, the Ramban, I think also, it's bigger Shina. They say this pshat. And Moshe says, I don't understand. If the Geirus is a kosher Geirus, and he says, forget about if it's a kosher Geirus. Even if it's a non-kosher Geirus, so he said, even if there's 3 Hedyotis that accept her, she's accepted, she's a kosher Geirus. So how could you say people are going to talk? Who cares what people are going to talk? They're Amaratzim, they don't know. It's a valid Geirus, so what do I care about Amaratzim? I actually saw a similar tshuva from Ramosha. I saw a similar truth from Moshe that it's interesting the way it was very interesting truth. It doesn't have the language, it doesn't have the letter that was sent to him, but from the letter of Moshe you understand what the case was. He starts off the letter saying, Shalom Aleichem, thank you so much for your letter. I really want to thank you for being Mekayim the mitzvah of Echeach Techiach Samisecha and giving Musar. It's really special of you that you take Yiddishkeit so seriously to inform people whenever you feel that they're over Averis. and now with regards to your letter about being Mekabel Shabbos by Adlokas HaNeiros, and that some people drive in cars after Adlokas HaNeiros, after the Zman of Adlokas HaNeiros, you should know that it might be a problem with Maris Ayin. People see that after the Zman after candlelight, when everybody is Mekabel Shabbos ready, you're in a car, there's a problem with Maris Ayin. He says you have to know what Maris Ayin is. Maris Ayin is only when there's a clear Isser and a clear Heter, and you're doing the clear Heter. For instance, we're talking about Basar B'Chalav.
Or Rav Moshe and when he took the taxi to shul every Erev Shabbos.
We're talking about that right now. So we have milk and meat, right? So that's usr. That's a clear usr. But then you have coconut milk and meat, or a different type of fake milk and meat, right? So if you have that, so that's complete heter, and the alternative is complete isser. So over there, when you're doing the complete heter, you have to inform people. You should know this is fake milk. You don't. This isn't really milk. He says, but if I'm doing something that's complete isser, that's complete heter, and there's no, and you think that it might be a isser because your grandmother told you that this is the time Shabbos begins, and this is the time Shabbos begins for you. So you're Amoritz. Okay, I'm not going to start carrying around the Shulchan Aruch for every Amoritz and tell them that, what should I do? This is a fact. I'm allowing, women are Mekabel Shabbos by Hadlak Saneris, but men aren't. And he says Hadlak Saneris is 18 minutes before Shkia. I got into the car 2 minutes after candlelighting time. I was in the car for 5 minutes, so I still had 11 minutes to Shkia. It's completely kosher. So there's no Marasan. He says, but because you sent me the letter, and because you're right, that maybe there are Amaratzim that don't know, even though halacha it's not a problem Marasan, but from now on I'll try to be more careful, and thanks again for sending me this letter, and thanks for being Ma'ori. That's the way he writes. But it's he brings out the same concept. He says, what do you mean Maris Ayin if there's no Aveira? Maris Ayin is only when there's actually an Aveira. When there's no Aveira, it can't be Maris Ayin. So, but before we get to Moshe, there's a tshuva from Reb Chaim Oizer about this, and Achiezer, about this topic. And he says that the etzem, you see most Rishonim say that the laz is on the Geirus. Most Rishonim say that the rumors that people are going to be spreading is going to be that it wasn't a kosher Geirus. So what pshat Rashi has a different pshat. He says it's the Rashi isn't halacha the Rashi. Meaning you can't say, okay, so where there aren't going to be rumors because they're in a relationship anyway, you can't say that. He says why? He says, be'etzem, the real reason is the reason the Rishonim give, that people are gonna complain about the ger. People are gonna say that people are gonna invalidate the gers. So why does Rashi say his pshat? He says Rashi says his pshat because Rashi is explaining the case of a shifcha. Rashi is explaining the case of a shifcha. Now with the shifcha, you can't say it wasn't a good gerus Because the shivcha is a geiris. You can't help it. Nobody's going to say by a shivcha it wasn't a good geiris. But what are the rumors they're going to say? They're going to say, well, this nus was true. But Enochinami says by a Vedas Kechavim, by a non-Jewish woman, Rashi's moida that the problem is that people are going to talk. But there, the problem isn't that people are going to talk about this nus. But there, the problem is that people are going to talk about the geiris. So this whole Hatter of Moshe that we just said, that he goes, well, the Rishonim we don't accept, and we're going to go with Rashi's way, and so it's mutter. It's not clear that Rashi really means to argue on the Rishonim. According to Chamoizet, Rashi doesn't mean to argue on the Rishonim B'chlal. So Ramosha continues, but Ramosha does say that well, we don't accept this, that people are going to spread rumors about the Geirs. What's the problem? The problem is that people are going to say that it's about Znus, that the whole Geiris was just because of his Znus, that he wanted to be Mizano, that he wanted to be with her, and so they made a Geiris. So the problem is that people are going, that if you confirm people's suspicions, meaning as long as people are spreading rumors, that's all they're doing, they're spreading rumors. But if you go and marry her, you're confirming their suspicions. If you're confirming their suspicions, there's an Aveira called Mefarsim Chete, that you're being Mefarsim your Aveira. The Gemara says that you shouldn't announce your Aveira in public. Even if you want to do tshuva and it's Seres Mei tshuva and everybody's coming in and saying I'm moichel this one and I'm asking mechila from that one.